Let's pay our respect first. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. My homage to the Blessed One, the Worthy One, the Supremely Enlightened One. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Let's pay our respect to our teacher, Pinnath Loko Swamin Wahanse. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay. Right. Before we dive into the sutta, let's remember where we stopped, and let's bring some memories about from our knowledge. Okay. One by one, if you would like to share one thing you know about Satipatthana Sutta, or the four foundation of mindfulness, and let's see how many Dhamma codes or facts we can find from our memory. So,
Namo Buddhaya, Bhante.
Namo Buddhaya.
Because I haven't been to all these classes, but I've studied separately.
Okay.
I know that all things are impermanent.
Right.
One of the teaching.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Raven is created and settles in the ear, eye, nose, tongue, body, and mind.
Okay. Good. And so in one way, so we know that from the six sense faculties, that's where craving create. Good. And anyone else? Anything else?
Yeah, I remember refrain. So it's like repeated 30 times through the sutta. And I think it's like a very important piece of sutta, since it's repeated like 13 times. And one of the first line is to observe whatever practice, whatever meditation practice or practice Buddha is describing, is to observe it for yourself, for another, and for yourself, for and other people. So I think it's kind of shows that we all have the same kind of situation, and it expands it from yourself to others, and to see that we all have the same kind of perception and same kind of feelings.
Right. Yes, and happy to hear it from Andrew, because Andrew, one time, remember, Bhante, are we missing that part?
What's that? I'm sorry.
You said one time that are we missing that part because
and I did study that too, so I just went back to the sutta and read it again, and just I think it's still this one. Why it's repeated 13 times? I mean, it's important.
yes,
It's not just repetition. It's not like poetry. I think it's important.
Yes, it's very important, because that's where the inside part. The other part is like bringing attention, like focus, and then improve the insight from that part. Like
right.
See the non-self. And so we all know that the Satipatthāna, the four foundation of mindfulness, is the exact path to cessation of all the suffering. So Buddha's teaching, all Buddha's teaching, we can bring into four words. Actually, one word, which means the four noble truth, four universal truth: suffering, cause for the suffering, cessation of the suffering, and path to cessation of suffering. So Buddha is saying by himself that all the teaching, so like there are 18,000 scripts, so we don't have time and everything to go through that. I mean, to you as a lay person, but everything in one word. So in there, path to cessation of suffering, that path we can describe in that four foundation of mindfulness. So Buddha saying, when starting this sutta, this is the Ekai no ayam bhikkave maggo. This is the only and exact path, sattana visuddhya, to which lead to purification of the living beings. Soka pariddevanan attangamaya dukkha soka samatikkamaya dukkha domanassanan attangamaya. So this is the path to mental and physical discomfort to fade away or to end all the suffering. And Nyaya Sadigamaya, to possess the knowledge, and Nibbana Sachikiriyaya, to attain the Nibbana. This is the path. So then Buddha described that we have to bring our mindfulness attention to our body. In there we learned different meditations. Okay, let's give it a try. What are those meditations? I'll bring one. Breathing meditation, Anapanasati. Then,
Walking meditation.
okay, walking or the bringing attention to the movements of the body posture. Not only then walking, sitting, standing, lying down. So, wherever, whenever we change our body, paying attention. Iriyapada. Then,
Paying attention to our feelings.
our feeling is the other sector. In the
Okay.
body sector, there are
Oh,
I think it's like
different.
body decomposition when it's
Yeah, the
The
composition is the what we just
32
discussed.
32 impurities?
Ah, yes, 32 impurities. Here we go.
why they call impurities? This is just like a parts of the body. It's just 32 parts of the body. It's not impurity.
Yes, yeah. So actually, it mentioned it. So it's a meditation. It's like the example given. It's like there is a bag. It has two opens. So this two opens means that two sides. So one open the top part, and that bag contains different grains like rice, mung dal, or different things. Someone investigating, bringing, this is taking some and identifying, this is rice, this is dal. So likewise, so that's the example given. That allows to end the desire, the willingness to sensual pleasure, and experience the inner peace and happiness. So yes and yes and no. So some may would like to say it's like thinking of the impurities. Some may it's like, oh, Bhante, I don't want to say it's impurities, but whatever, even though I can assure one thing, even you start with seeing the impurity, but you will experience the inner peace and inner happiness. That happiness is amazing. It's not leading to that feeling of disgusting or gross. That's the one I can assure. You can say different words for that. Right. And then sampajana, being mindful what we are doing. And then dhatu, that in the body we break it to earthly element, a water element, fire element, air element. And then we do the meditation on that. What happened to the body when someone died, how this body composed. So there are the 9 stages. We recall that and we understand that this body is something like that. That's the body part, and the inside part, which Andrew said. Then think that iti ajjatanga kaya kayana passive. What we say, the body in this side, understanding it as a body instead of identifying different personalities also. Identifying body as body means we reflect, we think about this body made from because of our parents, and then after that this body is sustained from the food we put, and if we do not put food, this body won't sustain. So this body is here because of the food, understanding that part. And even the other people or the others, instead of trying to name them in a different way, understanding the other side also, it's a body, and this body also made out of food, and if this food is no longer there, this body won't sustain. And then Samudaya and Dhammanupassya and Vaida. Actually, first understanding body, this part, and the other side, and then seeing the rising and falling. When it comes to body is here because of food, and when there is no food, body is no longer there. And then if someone pay attention to body and see it the way it improves the inside, that's the second one. Third thing, it says what happens when someone do so. What happens? Atti kayotiva panassa sati paccupatita hoti. When someone do meditation in this way, towards the body, mindfulness greatly establishing Pachupat Yavadeva Jnanamattai, which lead to the knowledge, this will lead to the insight, which lead to the wisdom. For the jnana, Jnanamattaya, Patisatimattaya, then mindfulness stay and anisitocha viharati. That mindfulness help to not to create any clingings, but pure concentration with insight. And that allows nacha kinchi loki upadhyate. Nothing, that mind does not cling to anything. That's sort of a pure mind. At the end, Buddha saying, if someone practice to body, feeling, mind, and Dhamma, Dhamma means mind phenomena, in this way, they will, if someone practice this between 7 years to 7 days, whether they like or dislike, they will attain to the final stage of enlightenment, if not, third stage of enlightenment. So, Buddha assuring. So, this is a teaching in the first sector. Buddha saying, this is the exact path. Then Buddha describe what is the path. We describing the path in there. It has a part for the bringing attention in the righteous way, focusing attention, and then improving the insight to see the body as body, as rising and falling, and it allows to bring that freedom to mind. So we discussed about the body and then feeling. When it comes to feelings, feelings are there due to the contact. Contact means tinnan sangati passo. Three things comes together, which mean if we talk about eye, when we talk about contacts, we discuss about the contacts of the eye contact, ear contact, nose contact, contact which happen in the tongue and the body and the mind. Contact means tinnan sangati. When it comes to eye, eyesight plus consciousness. When it comes to ear, sound and consciousness. Those are the contact. Due to the contact, feelings arises and feelings falls when contact is no longer there. And then when it comes to mind is there due to the nama rupa and mentally and bodily elements. And then when it comes to the Dhamma is here due to the attention or the manasikara, because we learned that we see the world the way we see. That's why one get angry towards someone while someone have lust towards the same person. So that's why these people divide in the two, see the world in different way. The way we see. So how it happens, where we can understand when we pay attention to within ourselves. So in there, in the Dhamma part, and we have learned what 5 hindrances, we have learned 5 aggregates, we have learned about 7 factors of enlightenment and 6 sense faculties, and now we are learning for foundation of mindfulness. In detail, we discussed about the sufferings, and suffering is what we are experiencing in our life, and then we discuss small amount, first part of the cause for the suffering, and today we are planning to learning the cause for the suffering, not the end of the suffering. We are not ending the suffering. Okay,
Bhante, oh, sorry, Bhante. I think Bhante meant four noble truths, not four establishments of.
In the four foundation of mindfulness, in there, four noble truths are describing in the Dhamma part or the mind phenomena.
Yes, Bhante. I just the four parts, the body, feelings, mind, and Dhamma. What you were talking about is for the Samudaya Vaya part, like when you said food for the body and contact for the feelings, Nama Rupa for Chitta mind, and
Yes,
then attention, Manasikara for Dhamma.
right.
So you were talking about Samudaya Vaya part of the all four. Is that what you were talking?
Yes,
That it?
100%.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
what in every sector we can find that part.
Okay. Okay. Thank
Okay,
you, Bhante.
yeah. Now we see that this teaching has a clear, like it's not like there is nothing missing and everything. It has a clearly discussed. So, and thanks for our volunteer group actually who were volunteering from Canada, not from here even. We have recordings and we have now we have like almost a complete PDF. So we can learn and you can go through. If you have any question, you can click the link and you can listen it. And in future, it will be so easy you to learn. Okay, and while saying so, we are going to read this. I need a volunteer to read this on behalf of me. Any volunteer who would like to read this?
The origin of suffering. And what is the noble truth of the origin of suffering? It's a craving that leads to future lives, mixed up with relishing and greed, taking pleasure wherever it lands. That is, craving for sensual pleasure, craving for existence, and craving for non existence. But where does that craving arise and where does it settle? Whatever in the world seems nice and pleasant, it is there that craving arises and settles. And what in the world seems nice and pleasant, the eye in the world seems nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles. The ear, the nose, the tongue, body, mind in the world seems nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles.
Sights in the world seem nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles. Sounds in the world seem nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles. Smells in the world seem nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles. Tastes in the world seem nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles. Touches in the world seem nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles. Ideas in the world seem nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles. Eye consciousness in the world seems nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles. Ear consciousness in the world seems nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles. Nose consciousness in the world seems nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles. Tongue consciousness in the world seems nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles. Body consciousness in the world seems nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles. Mind consciousness in the world seems nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles. Eye contact in the world seems nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles. Ear contact in the world seems nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles. Nose contact in the world seems nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles. Tongue contact in the world seems nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles. Body contact in the world seems nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles. Mind contact in the world seems nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles.
Feeling born of eye contact in the world seems nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles. Feeling born of ear contact in the world seems nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles. Feeling born of nose contact in the world seems nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles. Feeling born of tongue contact in the world seems nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles. Feeling born of body contact in the world seems nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles. Feeling born of mind contact in the world seems nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles. Perception of sights in the world seems nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles. Perception of sounds in the world seems nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles. Perception of smells in the world seems nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles. Perception of taste in the world seems nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles. Perception of touches in the world seems nice and pleasant and settles. Perception of ideas in the world seems nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles.
Intention regarding sights in the world seems nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles. Intention regarding sounds in the world seem nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles. Intention regarding smells in the world seems nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles. Intention regarding touches in the world seems nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles. Intention regarding ideas in the world seem nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles.
Craving for sights in the world seems nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles. Craving for sounds in the world seems nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles. Craving for smells in the world seems nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles. Craving for taste in the world seems nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles. Craving for touches in the world seems nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles. Craving for ideas in the world seems nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles.
Thoughts about sights in the world seem nice and pleasant, and it's there that craving arises and settles. Thought about sounds in the world seems nice and pleasant, and it's there that craving arises and settles. Thoughts about smells in the world seem nice and pleasant. It is there that craving arises and settles. Thought about tastes in the world seem nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles. Thoughts about touches in the world seems nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles. Thoughts about ideas in the world seem nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles.
Sure.
Considerations regarding sights in the world seem nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles. Considerations regarding sounds in the world seems nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles. Considerations regarding smells in the world seem nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles. Considerations regarding tastes in the world seems nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles. Considerations regarding touches in the world seem nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles. Considerations regarding ideas in the world seem nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles.
Yes, this is called the noble truth of the origin of suffering. Thank you, everyone. So now here I will try to use the whiteboard to make it a little clear for you. And so you may have seen that. See this craving for sight. Craving also somewhere, craving nice and pleasant, and that's where craving arises and settles. So we are talking about tanha. So you see that rupa tanha loke piya rupan sata rupan ittesa tanha upajamana upajati. So craving for sight, even itself a place, seems nice and pleasant. It's there, craving arises and settles. So this is a meditation. So if you can do this as a meditation, you will feel a huge freedom building in you, because you are addressing where desire rises, where tanha rises, where craving arises, and what it does is, so it does not give a room to craving to overwhelm. So it holds the inner peace and happiness which you already have, and even the bodily discomfort and all the mental discomfort and the things are here because of the attachment to the expectation. So this whole world try to be happy by fulfilling the wish our mind asks us to do. As an example, if you give 100,000 notes and a beautiful toy, if you show that 100,000 notes and beautiful toy to a small kid, what do you think? What will he take? The 100,000 or the beautiful toy? Beautiful toy. So that's how it works, right? So why there is no value that we call the piya rupan sata rupan, that which means that in the same word, if I say that in the world to child seem nice and pleasant toy, not the money, because he has no knowledge that money is the valuable thing. So but to us, we don't take the toy, we will be thankful receiving the notes. So but is that so that the value is actually innate? No, because what we and the society believes, we feel so. So when something sees like nice and pleasant, then we attach to that. The craving arises. That craving create energy for us to take that. So that's why I said that craving, no matter what job you are doing, we do only 2 jobs in reality when it comes to the craving, because of the craving. One is the servant job, that craving asks you to do this, do that, do this, do that. So we do that to get what we want. After we take that, then our craving says to protect that, secure that, secure that. So it's your wealth. Don't allow someone to take it. So that's what this craving does to us. So when someone understands this as a knowledge, so he does not want to take 100,000 notes and put it to the trash or give it to recycle. He will let go the desire which creates the suffering. So what is the benefit of letting go the desire? Then you will use that mindfully, not to fall into that trap of suffering. Because there are things, as a lay person, especially there are things you need to use this, you need to have this, and you have to use this mindfully. What sort of a mindfulness you should have? You should control, you should have a knowledge, and you should have a awareness not to fall into that trap of desire, the craving, shall we say. So first we may have to let go the cravings what we already have created. That's why this meditation allows practice. And then after some time, then when you meet new things, new people, new relationships, you have to understand one thing. I should not invest my happiness in someone's smile. It seems nice. We feel like, okay, we got another happiness. I have a good friend, I have someone who care of me, and so and so. But what will happen if we invest our happiness in someone's smile? Then we are being a servant, expecting that smile to happen. So then we try our one way or another to see that smile from the other side. Sometimes we can do something, but there are things we can do. Then what will happen? We will suffer. So, even practicing Dhamma, this path also these things happen. I met someone, that person came to Dhamma practice teaching from someone else's help. Because of that, they had a good bond between them, that it was a good relationship, healthy relationship, but that the person who taught Dhamma, after some time he got another friends, and so then what happened, that this person felt slightly bit of jealous. It's normal. They have created attachment, and attachment creates suffering. Then because of out of jealousy, they have shared some words. That words made kind of a misunderstanding, and it created a distance. After 3 years, still struggling, expecting to have that same friendship as they already had. That friendship was for like 1 year, but suffering is still in the heart for 3 years. So likewise, so no matter where you attach, in the name of Dhamma even, you will suffer. That's the truth. So in that case, even being a monk, I do not have immune like being a monk, you don't will suffer if you have even attached. There is no such a thing. If I attach, I will suffer. So that's the reality. So we all has to admit this truth, right? So with this knowledge, let's go to the whiteboard. I, and then side is, and because of these two, consciousness. Can someone spell consciousness for me?
CONCSIOUN.
OUS, right? Consciousness.
No.
Wrong? Okay, just think that this is consciousness, right? That's easy then. Yeah, so because of the I and I side, I consciousness arises. These three, when these three together, we say a name to this, which is, we say contact. So this, when these three together, we say contact. So we learned that craving arises in eye. So you can think about the other sense faculties also: eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, and the mind. So since we are talking about sight, then eye and the eyesight. So when you talk about ear, it's ear and sound. Because of these two, consciousness arises. We are being conscious. So these three we call the contact. Because of these three, it's arising Vedana. Vedana are the feelings. Feelings means three feelings mainly. Okay. And then perception. And then rises the intention also. In that, we discussed about the vitakka and vichara, that also rising due to the contact actually. The vitakka and vichara means the thoughts and the continuity of the thoughts. So for that, I will write vitakka and vichara. And then in there, we talk about the tanha also actually, based on feelings. Tanha or the craving also rising. So these are the things it says in that cause for the suffering part. So then I think now you have like a clear idea that how this world generating, like how we experience things. So because of eye and eyesight, consciousness arises. The thing that, okay, here's the thing that you see someone you love a lot. So because of that, eye and you see eyesight, because of that you have a consciousness. That consciousness create happy feeling. Here, happy feeling. Create a positive perception and positive intentions. And based on that, vitakka and vichara means that based on intention, you have mind, like mind narrations, and then continuity of that. That's what we call the vichara even. So those things arises. Think that the same person you feel like the someone else has do not like that person. He also see the same sight, but their consciousness is totally different in that case. So they feel unpleasant feeling, they feel unpleasant perception, and their intention is not to interact with them, maybe do something bad, and their vitakka also angry thoughts, and the continuity also with that. So that's how it works. And so one who's seeing craving, which means that he contemplate, he reflect, I is something, piya rupa, sata rupa, pleasurable thing, that's where the craving arises. Uppajjamana uppajjati, nivisamana nivishati. If it arises again as a new thing, it arises, and that's where the craving stays. So like not only is rising, but after it rising, it stay there. So that's how in our eye and the 6 internal sense faculties, and then external sense faculties. External sense faculties means sight, sound, smell, taste, and the thought. In their thought means that the what help to mind create mind intention. So you may have that we have to remember that when we say the thought, that same word we use in intention. Intention is a different thing. Mind object is a different thing in here. And in here, when it comes to mind, in here, what we say thought is a different thing. It's a mind object actually. In here, intention means another thing. Based on intention, these thoughts arising and continuity of thoughts arise in this. So we have to be clear what's saying. So the best thing is refer the Pali, the Buddha's language, so then you can understand what it actually means. So again, based on eye, craving arises, based on eyesight, craving arises, based on eye consciousness, craving arises. When these three together, we say contact, that's where craving arises. Based on this contact, feelings arises, perceptions arises, intentions arises, that's where craving arises. And based on these feelings, craving arises, that's where again it's a pleasurable thing, craving arises, and vitakka and vichara. So that's what it refers in the cause for the suffering. I'm going one more time to that. With this knowledge, I would like you all read this one by one again, not just to focus into this knowledge, but focusing to yourself. Okay, we can wind up the program with this one by one. So sometimes we may feel like embarrassed. Am I saying it correctly? Forget about those things. Just try your best. And let's say this part by part. I will highlight and you can say, then you can understand what we learned today. Okay.
And what is the noble truth of the origin of suffering? It's the craving that leads to future lives, mixed up with relishing and greed, taking pleasure wherever it lands. That is, craving for sensual pleasures, craving for existence, and craving for non-existence. But where does that craving arise and where does it settle? Whatever in the world seems nice and pleasant, it is there that craving arises and settles. What in the world seems nice and pleasant? The eye in the world seems nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles. The ear in the world seems nice and pleasant, and it's there that craving arises and settles. The nose in the world seems nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles. The tongue in the world seems nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles. The body in the world seems nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles. The mind in the world seems nice and pleasant, and it is there that that craving arises and settles.
Sights in the world seems nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles. Sounds in the world seem nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles. Smells in the world seem nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles. Taste in the world seems nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles. Touches in the world seems nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles. Ideas in the world seem nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles.
Thank you. So in here, so that for the mind object, it means ideas. Good.
Eye consciousness in the world seems nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles. Ear consciousness in the world seems nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles. Nose consciousness in the world seems nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles. Tongue consciousness in the world seems nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles. Body consciousness in the world seems nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles. Mind consciousness in the world seems nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles.
Eye contact in the world seems nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles. Ear contact in the world seems nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles. Nose contact in the world seems nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles. Tongue contact in the world seems nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles. Body contact in the world seems nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles. Mind contact in the world seems nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles.
Feeling born of eye contact in the world seems nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles. Feeling born of air contact in the world seems nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles. Feeling born of nose contact in the world seems nice and pleasant, and it's there that craving arises and settles. Feelings born of tongue contact in the world seems nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles. Feeling born of body contact in the world seems nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles. Feeling born of mind contact in the world seems nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles.
Perception of sights in the world seems nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles. Perception of sounds in the world seems nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles. Perception of smells in the world seems nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles. Perception of tastes in the world seems nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles. Perception of tortures in the world seems nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles. Perception of ideas in the world seems nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles.
Intention regarding sights in the world seems nice and pleasant, and it's there that cravings arises and settles. Intention regarding sounds in the world seems nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles. Intention regarding smells in the world seems nice and pleasant, and it's there that craving arises and settles. Intention regarding taste in the world seems nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles. Intentions regarding touches in the world seems nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles. Intention regarding ideas in the world seems nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles.
Craving for sights in the world seems nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles. Craving for sounds in the world seems nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles. Craving for smells in the world seems nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles. Craving for tastes in the world seems nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles. Craving for touches in the world seems nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles. Craving for ideas in the world seems nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles.
Thoughts about sights in the world seem nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles. Thoughts about sounds in the world seem nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles. Thoughts about smells in the world seem nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles. Thoughts about tastes in the world seem nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles. Thoughts about touches in the world seem nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles. Thoughts about ideas in the world seem nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles.
Considerations regarding sights in the world seem nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles. Considerations regarding sounds in the world seem nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles. Considerations regarding smells in the world seem nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles. Considerations regarding tastes in the world seem nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles. Considerations regarding touches in the world seem nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles. Considerations regarding ideas in the world seem nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles. This is called the noble truth of the origin of suffering. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Thank you. So this is what something most important thing. So now we know that. So like we always want to find that who is the real reason for the suffering, right? Whenever now we know that where suffering comes, I mean at least end the suffering, not because think that if you have a pain and suffering in you, you know that where it comes and not someone else putting into your head. Oh, there is. If you can address the way here, then you can end the suffering. Then what you said is suffering. Then you will say one day, it's a life incident. It's a part of life. It's an example. If someone going through too much workload or tension, also, you will say, it's not a suffering. It's just a. It's not. There is no suffering to me. It's just a part of life. So since we born to this world, it is here because. And I think that someone going through grieving also, then you will say one day, oh, it's just an incident. Whoever comes to this world, they die. So it doesn't. There is no protection or something like even I love someone. That doesn't mean that that person will live forever. So everyone will be happy with good understanding about the life. So this is a good thing which we can do in our life. So this is a meditations. Any questions regarding today's class before we wind up?
Bhante, now I'm a little bit, I want to confirm between that intention, the sankhara, and vitaka, Bhante. So the
Yeah.
intention comes first and then we have thought, Bhante. See, after contact, we have feeling, and then the feelings, after feelings, the intentions come up, right? And then how about the thought? That the thought comes later, Bhante?
No, actually, based on contact, feelings also rising, intentions also rising. Actually, vitaka, which are also rising, so that in there, vitaka, so no, you don't find that vitaka, which are like out group and mentioned there, because that in sankhara means that intention means if you can go remember the sutta, I think it's in Kajjaniya Sutta. Rupang rupattaya sankatang abhisankarantiti sankharo. Form to make another form, that conditions again, that especially creating that's what the sankhara does. It's like sankhara is the power of karma, actually intention. So that intention or the power of karma. Vitaka means that no one will have think and consider anything without they have the intention. So based on intention, actually vitaka vichara even arises. We can discuss all those things, Linda, without the contact. Wherever contact happen, it's not like everything, like cause and effects, like everything together there. So to understand rising falling, we see the real reason, but other than that, there is no like a gap or space in between. That's what we need to understand.
So Bhante, in the vitaka, it's also we have the kamma there too, Bhante, because
Actually, vitaka means that mind karma.
the mind kamma, okay.
Not
Right.
even so. If you think, if you have any angry thoughts towards me, now you have angry karma.
Oh, yes, the vitaka, and then the vichara is the holding on to that thoughts.
Yes.
Yes. Mohamapi Bhante, Temasana, Tina, go ahead.
Okay. Any question? Now, right? Yeah.
It's okay, Bhante. I had a question, but I think it's kind of silly.
No, there is no
Okay.
silly question.
Okay. So let's say you see someone let's say a friend, for example, that hurt you or whatever, hurt your feelings. So you see that friend, so you have the eye contact, so the sight, and then consciousness arises because of the contact. Is there any way to stop the consciousness from arising?
No.
Like, is there a way
So,
to cut? No.
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 If you can remember in the Chittanupassana, we learned that Saragang va Saragan Chittan. You are talking about anger. Sadosang va Chittan, Sadosan Chittanti Pajanati. When anger arises, understanding that my mind is with anger. So that is the only thing we can do. Like the instead of cutting off, what we do is we just see what actually happening in the mind. So that allows, that's also Satipatthana. When you get angry, when you understand, okay, I feel anger, that's also a wholesome thing. It's not unwholesome thing. Understanding the anger. So when you understand that, that allows to rewire the brain. Actually, that is when you're seeing that, because of your awareness and seeing the rising and falling in, and you are not representing that anger as you or yourself.
I see.
But
okay.
you see rising and falling, and it lead to the cessation of that suffering, and by reducing and erasing the craving. But it's a practice, so that's what we have to learn, that even though we see the craving, it's not like, think that you wear a necklace, you understand that I have a craving to this, and you just to get rid of the craving. If you remove it and just offer it to a monastery or just throw it away, it feels like you let it go, but in your mind you may, a day after tomorrow, you may think, I should go and take it back, because we can't do it physically. We need like a practice to rewire our mind.
Okay. Thank you, Bhante. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Bhante, I have a quick question. I don't know whether I'm going to ask it the right way, but when the contact happens, feelings, sanya, sankara, I forget these English words anyway.
Yeah, it's okay.
All three, are those things come instantaneously, and are we doing, are we responsible for tanhava, vitaka, and vichara? Do you get what I'm trying to say? When the contact takes place, whether the feelings, what were the other words?
Perception
And
feeling,
evolution
perceptions,
of
and the
all of
evolution
those things come automatically, and can we stop
yeah, that
the tanha, like craving, vitaka, and vichara?
Ashokamani, who is, you are saying that can we means who?
Me. Yeah.
What do you understand in the me?
We put some effort. I mean, if we just see just feelings come, right? We understand it's a happy feeling or all that stuff, and then we
Hold
identify
on a
what it
second.
is. In the sense, what can we stop? Where can we stop? At the point where the cravings come and vitaka and vichara, can we stop?
Actually, there is. It's not like that, because to stop, then there we have a question: who's gonna stop? We understand there is none. That delusion is the one, and the idea of that me and mine or myself. We see that there is a cause and effect. So when we see the cause and effect, so that framing, that idea of me and mine and myself fade away. So that creates the wisdom. So wisdom is the reason not to attach. So it's not someone else, not attaching. The wisdom means that seeing the conditioned things as conditioned things, and it's rising and it's falling, and there is nothing to take it as me or mine or myself. Then that dispassion and the freedom arises, and that's how it ends. If I bring it as an example, think that you have a great thing that for some reason you have a great attachment to a, shall we say, to a piece of cake, that thing that you got a cake and you are eager to eat it and you very much like it. So while when you want to eat, if someone try to take it when you want to eat, you may get angry towards that person. But when you see that, if someone come and say that, okay, this cake has a poison, and they ask to return this brand, like a model or so, the batch number. So then you do not want to eat. Even now that craving is no longer there. Why there is no craving? You saw the danger in it. So likewise, when you see the rising and falling, and when you there is nothing to take it as me or mine or myself. So you can address this in your same question. Even now you have a question to, again you want an answer. So if we think like, okay, this question also sankar, it arises because of the contact, and when contact is no longer there, this question is no longer there, then it's not me or mine or myself, then you will end up that your question is over. So then that you don't need that sort of an answer, like you don't need I to experience the freedom, because you know that I is a delusion. That idea of I is a delusion.
Yes. Okay, Bhante, thank you.
Yeah.
Try to think more about it.
I mean, the best thing, I mean, to address it, when you when you thought the thing that you want, that you feel like, okay, I don't understand this, and this how to understand this, and you, instead of you make a like your own math to make things together, you can, the righteous way is, okay, there is a thought and I have like idea, I should somehow understand that, and this also thought, and thoughts are impermanent, and it's rising and falling. Suddenly you find that you don't need an answer, then you will find that
I get it now. Yeah, I get it. Thank you, Bhante.
Okay.
Bhante, following, can I? Is it still okay, Bhante? The following Ashoka Menu's question, Bhante. So the dependent origination, in order to end that link, basically we can see the truth in any one of the link. Am I
100%? Yeah.
So let's say like Sariputta Bhante, he realized the Dhamma through the feeling, right? So then when he realized it through the feelings, everything break down. So the link, the chain, everything broken, then Bhante attained arahantship, Bhante. Bhante, because I'm asking this, Bhante, because in one of the Majjhima Nikaya, I think Supreme Buddha told
Samadhi Sutta.
yeah, Samadhi Sutta, that we can end from any link, but does it mean that we can realize it through any one of that link? It's not like Bhante explained, not a not a person behind everything, but through the realization from any one of that link, then we can nibbida, attain that have the nibbida, and then viraga, nirodha.
Actually, that creates the right vision. Based on right vision, and when someone practices the right mindfulness, that right vision, right effort, and right mindfulness with the right ethical conduct, create the concentration or the samadhi that allows to see the rising and falling. And then what will happen? Samma jnana and samma vimukti, that the right knowledge, and it creates the right knowledge, and that knowledge creates the right freedom, and that knowledge and freedom is the one ending the suffering. It's like actually that freedom does not come or belong to a person. That freedom comes once we overcome from that idea of me or mine or myself, that's where if you can link the same teaching at every end of that for foundation mindfulness meditation, that the second part sees that this body also a body like this, the other body also body like that, made out of food, and it's a rising and falling, and samudaya and vaya, we see that because of that mind come to that non-attached place. So that's where that and practicing it for like 7 years to 7 days, that's how the enlightenment comes.
Thank you, Bhante. Wow.
Yeah.
Bhante, one quick question.
Yes,
So the feelings that arises, whether it's a sad feeling, angry feeling, those feelings are conditioned, aren't they? It's not just the contact, is it? It goes much deeper than that.
I mean, everything conditioned, nothing like everlasting, because conditions, I mean, that contact also there because of the six sense faculties. Six sense faculties also there because of the materiality and the mentality. It also there because of the consciousness. It also there because of the sankara. In there, sankara means kaya sankara, vachi sankara, chitta sankara, that the breathing, that vitakka and vichara, which what we learned, and then the perceptions and the feelings. Those are there because of the avijja, and not knowingness of the Four Noble Truths. So that's what we need to understand. That's what we are learning in dependent origination. So it's like linked one to another. So like the actual reason, if we needed that, what is the exact reason? Exact reason is, we can bring it to two words. One is the delusion or the avijja, not knowingness of the suffering as suffering, cause for the suffering as cause for the suffering, cessation of suffering as cessation of suffering, path to cessation of suffering as path to cessation of suffering. That avijja, and based on that avijja, the craving which arises. So these are the two main reasons to sustainability of this samsara.
Thank you, Bhante.
Yeah. Yes, and if anyone feels like, okay, first part was so clear, but when going to the question and answer, it again made me a kind of a rocket science feeling. So just let it go. We will little by little learn these things, and since this is a class where everyone can ask questions, and it's not like we don't expect you to be in so serious mood. So what we want is to gain the knowledge what Buddha has given us, and it creates the Shraddha, or the confidence towards Buddha, and it allows us to understand this amazing truth. And from Buddha's simile, Buddha says this Buddha's dispensation is like a ocean. In the ocean, it starts playing on the shore and enjoying the beach, but little by little it has a huge depth. So if anyone playing on the shore, that doesn't mean that he has whole experience of this huge depth, but that doesn't mean that he does not have the taste of the ocean water. They taste the same salty taste which anyone who tastes in the very bottom. So it's the same that what the social media also, that same but different. That's what I have to say. Okay, let's say sadhu 3 times. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Today we learned the cause for the suffering, and we accumulated many merits, and we accumulated many good karma, good blessings, and good merits to our life. Let's share all these merits with all the divinely powers, and if there are any private guardians to you, let's share with them. And let's share all these merits with our past relatives, and let's share these merits with our teacher, Pinat Loko Swamin Wahanse. I am breaking that word to you to understand that one day you can say it by yourself. That's why I'm breaking that word. And let's share all these merits with our all the monastic monks who live all around the world, and with our wonderful volunteers, and all the Dhamma listeners who come to the class. May you all be well, may you all be happy, may all good wishes come true, and may you all able to understand the Four Noble Truths in this Gautama Buddha's dispensation. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.